And there are some people who have been training a long time that have got great big fat spinal erectors that will look to your untrained eye as though their lumbar is in flexion, and it's not. They've just got big muscles on either side of the spine, and your untrained eye does not recognize that muscle mass. It does not process the fact that the vertebral position underneath the muscle mass is in lumbar extension, just like it's supposed to be. Right? If all you're used to seeing is little skinny people, you're not going to be able to recognize whether the spinal position is correct or not. Couple this with the fact that the human spine is fairly tolerant of a little bit of lumbar flexion and a little bit of thoracic flexion. It's fairly tolerant of that. You know, a little bit of lumbar flexion is not a complete deal breaker, because if you have got a PR set of 5 on the bar and you've been training 9 months and you're pulling the bar off the floor with a PR set of 5, if your lumbar spine shows a tiny little bit of flexion in the last 2 reps, we're okay with that. It's not going to kill you, right? Especially if you are making an attempt to hold the low back in extension throughout the entire set of 5. Okay? You know, the way you hurt your back, I'll tell you how you hurt your back. You hurt your back by putting it in the wrong position of extension. In other words, some flexion, and then you rotate it. That's how you hurt your back. You pick up the lawnmower, which is an awkward object, and you put it in the back of the truck by rotating from your hips, not with your feet on the ground, all right? And the fact of the matter is most people pick shit up wrong all the time, and not everybody's dead, right? Not everybody's paralyzed, okay? So you could lift things wrong if you have to, all right? But what we want to teach you to do is to do things the most physiologically efficient way possible, and that is to lift in thoracic and lumbar extension. Because do you tow a car with a chain or a spring? Now think about that. You want to tow the car with a non-deformable object, which is the chain. That way, all of the force gets transmitted to the car you're towing. For the same reason, you want to pull with a back locked in rigid extension, thoracic and lumbar extension, because that way, all of the pull generated by the extending knees and hips goes up the back, down the arms to the bar.